Hey, welcome back to Always Learning. What are we doing today? Well, today we are making a mount, deer mount for a European mount, or skull mount, some people call them. I'm just taking a basically sheet of, I don't know, 1/4 inch steel, probably a little heavier than you need, and then I'm going to drill a couple holes in it so I can put screws into the wall, and then I'm going to take this piece of rebar, clean it up, cut it at 45 and weld it to it. So probably make this, I don't know, 1 inch by 3 inches, and then this will be 3 inches coming out, and if it's too long I'll cut it off, but just make it easier to hang your deer mount. I'll show you how to make it. I'm also making a slab sofa table, or a slab standing desk, same as a sofa table, but it's slab standing desk. So if you want to watch that, I got another video you can find in the library. But anyway, I'm just going to make a deer head mount so we can hang the deer head. So when you're welding or cutting steel, it's invaluable that you have a piece of chalk, and it's welding chalk. It just helps you mark your line. So that's where I'm going to cut it. Come back in here. I could probably make it a little, I don't need to make it that narrow, that wide, I mean. Take that one, come down here, and I'll make it, I don't know, that big. I already got a hole drilled, so I'll just see if that'll work. If not, I'll drill another one. Like I said, it's going to be behind the deer head. It doesn't have to be fancy. So I'm just going to cut this out with a grinder. All right, so I've got it clamped down. We're going to fire up the grinder and grind it. Forward, I'll come back and cut the other side and then cut it away. So I got it cut. Now I just kind of got to polish it, get all the old rust off. Looks like somewhat new steel. Polish this guy up, weld him to it, and we're done. Okay, so I got this in, same way, I just ground it down. The holder I made doesn't have to be exactly this, it's just what I did. It is 3 inches by 2 inches, and then I'm probably gonna make this 3.5 inches, and then I'll cut it off if it's not right. So next I'm gonna 45 it, and I'm assuming that these grooves are about at a 45-degree angle, so I'm just gonna pick one of these grooves and clip it off there, and then clip it off straight at the other end. Okay, now I'm just going to cut this end off straight. That's why if you have gloves, it's not that hot. There you go. Attach this to it at 45. Call it a day. All right, it's welding time. I don't have a full-size welding. I just got this little Lincoln stick welder. So I've got a little attachment to hang the electrode and the clamp to get that circular charge going. And then I've got a 100-foot 220 cable, so I can run it all the way from my 220 outlet outside my garage if I need to. So also, if I need to take it over to a friend's house, I can, and probably plug it into where their washing machine goes. All right, I got some 7018 rod, and I'm just gonna, you could probably clamp this some way. I've got these little magnets, you could probably clamp it, but I'm just gonna hold it with a glove and quickly tack weld it. I mean, I'm just kind of put it in this upward position here, and let's put it this way and show you and call it a day. Doesn't really have to be centered. Like I said, I got a screw here, and then I'm gonna drill another screw hole here. Pitter patter, let's get at her. All right, there she is. Knock off this slag, grind it a little bit. I'll drill another hole over here, and then I'll paint it, and she'll be ready to hang. But that's just how you make a little deer hanger. Pretty cheap, pretty simple for a European mount. Okay, now I just got to drill another hole in this little guy. Like I said, you can make it bigger. I'm just trying to conceal it as much as possible. And that should be done. Then I'm gonna simply paint it. But you want to make sure you get a steel bit. If you wet it down with some oil, that'll help. I don't have any handy, so I'm just gonna go at it. I like to start on the table and then move it off. I don't know why. That's just how I do it. Oh, if you want it recessed, the trick you can do is you can start with a bigger drill head and drill down, and then like I did on this one, and then the last couple, you know, little bit of it, you just punch through with a smaller head. You can do the reverse it too. You can drill a little one and then come back and kind of waller it out. There you go. I'm going to come back. So now I'm just going to come back and kind of waller it out like the other one, so I can get a screw that's kind of recessed in there. There you go. $2 European mount deer hanger. We'll get her all polished up, painted, hung on the wall. All right, to paint it, I'm just going to use this little all-in-one Fusion paint primer I got at Lowe's. Pick up that old rattling can, get that ball ready to go, and then just all right, so to hang the deer hanger on the wall, I just simply put it where I want it, and then I punched with a little screwdriver where my holes were, and then went ahead and punched all the way through. And I like these little white screwable in hangers. You just kind of pop them in. I'll use the back of the screwdriver if you need a little more encouragement. Pop them in there, screw them in with the Phillips, and then they're ready for the screws to go in, and then you just line up your holes with them. Screw your screws in, and they are tight to the wall. That's kind of how I hang a lot of the stuff in the garage or around the house, especially if something's going to be handled or put on or off or taken up and down. To hang it, you just find where the spinal cord would go, the hole there, and simply slide it on top of your post coming out of your holder. And mine's probably 45 is probably not the perfect angle to do it, but it ended up working okay. You slide it on, get it kind of set. It doesn't move really kind of once it's on. I've seen people do it with just a string too if you didn't want to do this method. There you go. That is the deer hanger all hung in its place. Make one. Thanks for watching.